Hi everyone, bit of an ad hoc video today. We've got a brand new wax that I'd like to show you a demo of. So this will just be a test video just to show you what the wax can do and basically how to get the best out of the wax as well. So those of you in the know about Michelin kind products will know that we always start off with pure. So when we've got a new wax, a new sealant, what pure will do is it will strip off all of the old waxes, all of the old sealants, glazes, that type of thing. Now I have did a few other videos prior to this, so we'll just flip it over to a clean side. In fact, it lets you see this is how much dirt we're actually pulling off of this paint, even though this area here has been clayed, washed, decontaminated, you're still pulling off quite a bit. Bear in mind the darker section, that was actually from the rubber gasket. So just fair warning, that area wasn't from the paint, it's not that bad. So basically all we'll do is just start off with the straight lines. Remember, this is a chemical cleaner, so you're only looking to clean the paint. You're not looking to you're deep cleaning the paint. That's the best way to describe this. And you're just using back and forth motions, north and south, like this. And just like that there. What this gives you is even coverage. That's really what we're looking for here, is even coverage. And just for good measure, since the camera's catching this area, we'll just do this area as well. Bearing in mind I've just did this area, we just did a live video on another channel there, so that area is already done, but as I said, the camera catches it. No cure time required for pure. You can if you want, you don't need to. If it was myself, I would tend to give it about 5 minutes, just so that the cleaning agents can actually soften all of the dirt. Obviously, because it's a video, you don't want to look at this for 5 minutes, so we'll just speed the process up, and you'll still get a really good result at the end of it. It's personal preference, total personal preference. Again, we're just removing this in straight lines. I tend to remove it the opposite way to how it was applied the last step. So my last step was up and down, so I'll remove it this way and then flip the cloth to the other side. And the way that you'll know that the pure is actually fully removed is the paintwork. You'll start to glide over the top, and this is the first step to perfect paint, because you've cleaned it much more. You saw the actual dirt that was removed from there. Let's just look at that. That's what we've managed to pull off of that door in that short period of time. If we had left it a few minutes longer, you'd probably find it was even more dirt to come. However, as I said, we'll keep it that way for the video. Keep things simple. Don't forget your mirrors. So I tend to tackle these separately only because it's a different material. It's plastic. It's just habit. You can do it any way that you want. It's for me, it's just habit. Next up, this is another important part. Now we can go for Titan, or what I'm going to choose is Titan. This is our show car gloss. Because it's a black metallic paint, I really want a high shine off of this. I want as you can see, we've already started to increase the quality. We've started to increase the gloss levels, and you've also got good depth. And the easiest way to get good depth prior to applying your wax is make sure the paint is clean. Think of it like a mirror. A mirror, when it's dirty, doesn't give the same image. It can be cloudy, etc. If you give that mirror a really good clean, similar to glass, look at the difference in the glass now. So it's the same here. You just want the glass, the paint to be as clean as possible. Well, what I should say is I have just used this product, but always give your polishes and such like a shake before you use them, mainly because they are you know, they're made up of oil, so you can't get separation if they stand. Again, we're just going up and down, left and right, north and south, east and west. That might be the name of Kanye's new child. Or everything in together. And then just get in behind the handle. One of the reasons that you should always get right in behind the handle. These are all areas when you wash the car, the water sits. If you've got a sealant and a wax on there, the water will just drip off. So it means that when you're drying it, you don't get these, these drips coming from underneath the mirror. Of course, you can't negate everything. You can't get rid of everything, but it does certainly help. And again, I'm just going over the areas I've just done. Catch the back since it's in the camera. Make sure that you get a good idea of what we're doing here. And that's that section finished. Another new cloth. Now again with Titan, because it's a sealant, you do want to give it some time to cure. By that I don't mean half an hour or so. Just give it about 5 minutes. The best way to see if this product has cured is to use a swipe test. Now if you swipe down and if you don't see any trails of oil between the swipe, it means it's good to go, you can remove it. If you do, it means you should leave it for a few minutes longer. The reason a product takes longer to cure, two things: over application, air temperature or general temperature. In a garage, things do typically take longer to clear because you've not got that moving air that you typically, Scotland's relatively windy all the time. So that massively helps with the curing time. Whereas if you're in a garage and everything's still, you've not got that movement of air, so it's not bad if you've got a drafty garage or open a window. That's you should always be working in a well ventilated area anyway. And bearing in mind these are still chemicals, so you must must take the right precautions. And all I'm doing here, as I said, we've got a new cloth and we're just taking this off in straight lines. Just like that. And that's how easy Titan and Pure are to use. I'm just getting right in behind the handle again just to make sure. What I can already see by applying Titan, and it's quite, it's fast. The paintwork's darker, the paintwork is more glossy, but to add to that, the paintwork's always also better protected as well. Now this brings us on to the bit that you've all been waiting for, which is the wax. So let's see what it can do. Upon opening the jar, you've got a nice bright yellow colour, nice and happy, especially at this time of year. Quite nice to see for those of you that are lucky enough to stay in warmer climates. Congratulations. Now all I'm doing here is I'm just, in my mind, I'm splitting this microfiber into fifths or quarters, whatever works for you. So what you will notice is I've not applied the wax to the whole pad, I've only applied it up here. That's why our waxes last so long. We don't have water and such like to dilute them down. These are all pure ingredients that are in here and within this wax. Every ingredient has a job. So it's not just a job to carry it onto the paint. Once it hits the paint, it must do something. So that's why we're quite strict when it comes to, we make a lot of prototypes and a small percentage actually reach the website because I'm particularly strict in terms of the uniqueness of the product. So is the product too similar to something else? Does the product have ingredients that are too similar to another one that we already have? So I'm very, very careful. I always have that in my mind when I'm making something like this. So we'll just see if we can take that camera down slightly. So the next step that's relatively important is a quick detailer. Now this is all dry, it's a brand new microfiber. First off, we want to soften the fibres. So you saw the distance that I sprayed that from. We're not spraying it right here and saturating it. We're keeping it a distance away. Obviously it's went onto the paint, absolutely fine. You know, we're going to apply the wax to there anyway. If you are out in the sun, just make sure that the QD doesn't dry on. You don't really want any product to dry on. And then just dab it on the paint. Again, I'll try and keep within the camera just so that you can actually see. There we go. While you're doing the same thing again, just straight lines. You want to see a slight haze of wax on the paint, and that's all. Gone are the days of having to cake the paint and thinking that you've got, you know, millimeters of coverage. We're talking about microns here in terms of the protection that we're applying really with most products. And that's all you need, because anything more doesn't adhere to the paint. So only that first layer of wax is adhering, everything else is drying off basically. So it's just get this. I can already see this is going to be really, really glossy. You can see a lot of nice, really nice dark reflections. The other great thing about this wax is the durability. So you'll easily get about four plus months from it. In terms of the application, you've seen it's exceptionally easy. It is a fast curing wax, so you don't need to leave it to cure as long as, you know, maybe a summer wax. But these things are always, you know, your decision. The longer you leave a Michelin King wax than natural waxes, the better it'll look and the longer it'll last. And the looks side of things, it's quite a dramatic difference. So if you can leave the wax on for half an hour, you should do it, because there are some oils that really add to the finish that we've removed because we're removing it too quickly. You know, I've got clients that apply Elegance or some of our concours style waxes, and these will be on the paint for, you know, considerable time, much longer than half an hour, but they'll also have multiple layers, and the difference is quite staggering. If you compare a single layer at half an hour to multiple layers, maybe up to an hour and 20 minutes each layer, the difference is quite, you know, if you've got the time, try it. Make sure your paint's stable enough as well. Don't put it onto paint that's cracked and such like. You know, the paint does need to be, but I know you guys, you know, you'll have good paint. So quick chat there just whilst we let that cure. Again, because this is a video, we would, as you know, leave this for a longer period of time. We would really want to be leaving this for minimum of 15 to 20 minutes with this wax, but you can leave it longer. So what we're going to invoke is a thing called, I just call it speed curing, there's no fancy name for it, or forced curing. 2 sprays of QD at a distance. You want a tiny spray on the paint. You don't want to saturate it, because all the QD is doing is shocking that wax into curing. So you're really just frightening it into curing, which is, you'll see in a minute, you know, it's super easy to remove, and that's because we forced it to cure. Again, just take your time around the handle. Always when I mean, it sounds obvious, but I always put my hand into the cloth rather than having the thumb over and your nail catching this area. I deal with this type of stuff all the time, so my hands aren't the best. They are quite rough, so they probably could, you know, on paint. If we had a really good microphone, you could pick up that noise. So I always keep the cloth wrapped right round. then that's all we're doing, we're just buffing this off. I mean that's it off, but just for, just again out of habit, all I'm going to do is go up and down. It's definitely off, you know, I can feel it under the cloth. This is just for show, because this wax is gone. There we go. So what we can do is grab the camera here and give you a look at the finished job down the side. So as you can see, you know, incredible finishing here. Really nice gloss. And this is not at any funny angles. This is the camera's here and pointing onto this area. I'm not bringing it in. You know, I see the posts, guys. I see the posts. They're like this. Well, there you go. It's looking good. The car could definitely benefit from a machine polish. However, it shows you that if you can get, you know, let's get the car in focus. If you can get this type of finish, this is a fairly ordinary car. It's a Fiesta. It's a 2012. It's 10 years old. You know, it wasn't cared for from, you know, day one. Once it's, you know, arrived into our care, we've certainly taken better care of it. But yeah, have a look at the product. Have a look at the wax. We'll put it in the link below. Make sure you pick up the Titan and the Pure as well. And another product I'd just quickly like to show you before we finish up is a product called Seal. Now I just put it into this bottle because it's what we had, but you buy it, it's ready to use. Seal's great in between, Seal is absolutely great in between washes. Main reason is it'll add really high gloss, and it's a good partner for this wax and with Titan as well. I quite like to use it with Titan. So just, it's as easy to use as a quick detailer. You know, as you see there, just a few sprays. Product goes a really long way, and then just buff it off. Now it is a spray sealant, so you're kind of applying it, so it's not, you know, I said just buff it off. Really what you're doing here is you're applying it over the paint, and then when you get to the back, or where you started, you're buffing it back off. So this is you essentially buffing it back off. Now what you would obviously want to do is let that wax cure for about 24 hours before topping it with anything else. But I just wanted, enthusiasm got the best of me, and I just wanted to show you this product because it is so good. Obviously we have a few, or we do offer a few spray wax or spray sealants. Wax Plus is another one. We've got Endurance as well, but as I said, I've got a newfound love for Seal at the moment, so I just thought I'd bring it out in this video. I was using Seal earlier on today. It's so nice. It is so nice. It's just the paintwork is so slippy now. I mean, again, I'm just habit. Even though the product's finished, I'm still going over. You know, that product was completely off. It's so smooth. The paintwork is just incredible. So there you go. You've got the new wax. Showed you how to use Pure, Titan, and have a look at Seal as well. Take care. Bye bye.